It's David again, though. It's David again. See what I came across in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 23 from verse 8. Scripture is saying that these are the names of David's famous soldiers. The first was Josheb-Basshebet from Tekemon, who was the leader of the three. Now, he fought with his spear against 800 men and killed them all in one battle. This one is not metaphor. This one is not hyperbole. Bro, one man versus 800. He fought with a spear and killed them all. Let's go to the second person. The second of the famous three was Eleazar, son of Dodo, of the clan of Ahor. One day, he and David challenged the Philistines, who had gathered for battle. The Israelites fell back, but he stood his ground and fought the Philistines until his hand was so cramped that he could not let go of his sword. See, there are men and there are men. There are men who be say if he hot, no be like say they don't love you, but their capacity no reach, they go fall back. But there are men who get the capacity where even when you hot, they would rather die than see anything happen to you. Now waiting happen for you like that. When the Israelites fell back, he stood his ground and fought the Philistines. Like he fought to the extent that his hand was cramped to his sword, like he could not. That is not all. The third person, the third of the famous three was Shammah, son of Agi, from Hara. The Philistines had gathered at Lehi, where there was a field of peace. The Israelites fled from the Philistines, but Shammah stood his ground in the field, defended it and killed the Philistines. It happened again. Another wahala came, other Israelites ran, but Shammah stood his ground. You see what I'm telling you? There are men and there are men. There are men and there are men. See, there are people that God can send to your life that they're going to tell you that than for you to not finish your school, I would rather die. Like, there are men that can come into your life and they will say, sir, than for you to not make it, let me die. The gift of men. David. Do you know one amazing thing? I just read about 3 people now. Do you know that David had more than 3 of these kind of persons? He had the Bible recorded more than 30. In the next verse, verse 13, the Bible is saying, near the beginning of harvest time, 3 of the 30. So the first one that I read, there are 3. They call them the 3. Then they now have another group, they call them the 30. Now, do you know the funny thing? Aside these 3 that I just read about now, David has about 30 extra of those kind of men. Hey, God. See, something again happened. Something funny happened. Now, David, scripture is saying that David grew homesick. As per David just said that he missed his home. Like he missed. So, David grew homesick and he said, how I wish someone will bring me a drink of water from the well by the gate of Bethlehem. Now, that well that David is talking about is in the midst of his enemies. Like, that well is in the camp of his enemies. So David just said, how I wish that somebody would just bring me water from that well. During the funny thing, the 3 famous soldiers forced their way through the Philistine camp, drew some water from the well, and brought it back to David. God. Somebody just sat down and wished, and then men carried it on their head. You know the funny thing now? At the end of the day, David could not drink the water again. Even David said, shocked. See what David said. Scripture is saying, but David will not drink it. Instead, he poured it out as an offering to God and said, Lord, I could never drink this. It would be like drinking the blood of these men who risked their life. So he refused to drink it. You see, this thing, you see, the gift of man is not a joke. Hey, David. See, my prayer is that God will help us. That God will help us in the gift of men. And you know one funny thing I ended up finding out about David, because I'm still on David, is that David had all these kind of men around him at his beck and call. But David still said, I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord. David had these men with this kind of capacity, ready to go any length for him. But he still referenced God. Where did David learn this one from? Hey, God. See, God will help us. God will give us quality men. That is, God will give us the gift of quality men. Still on this topic. David. Hey, God.